Well, hello and good morning and welcome to Swahili Sunday. And if you are listening after the fact, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I'm excited to be here today after a whirlwind of activity over the last week. And I'm going to share a little bit about my experience with that and some other things today. I have some, you can't really see them too well. They're draped over the top. These are some of the dog bandanas. We have the ladies making more of those because those are selling well. They're making more table runners because I brought 3 back and I've sold 2 out of the 3. And I'm sure that I haven't even listed the third one, so I'm sure it will sell too. So I'm excited about that product for the sewing group. So we have a group that primarily does sewing. Some of them don't make beads, but we have a sewing group, and then I'd say just about every woman makes the paper beads. And then we have some that make some of the specialty things. And I think everybody makes the trivets like you see right here, this little trivet. There's this trivet and there's other trivets, which is made out of the papyrus reed. So as you're getting ready to go into the holidays, and we hear a lot of things. If you live in Southern California and you go to the beach like I did yesterday, it looks like the 405 freeway, which we refer to as the parking lot here in sunny SoCal. Well, the shipping channel looks like the parking lot. There's something like 30 ships parked waiting to get into the port of Long Beach. And so people, are saying that Christmas gifts and things like that are going to be hard to come by. Well, I can tell you that baskets and beads Christmas gifts are not hard to come by because I have a full stock of paper beads, of baskets, of dog bandanas, of trivets, and I have more things coming. I don't ship through the Port of Long Beach. We ship through DHL, and that gets here in 3 to 5 days. So I have a DHL account. So even if I run out of things, as long as the time that it takes to make them, as soon as we ship it, it gets here within 3 to 5 days. So if you are looking for holiday gifts, look no further. Have some great gifts. At the Space and Fairtrade Long Beach, we have some Conscious Step socks. I don't have those listed on the website because you can go to consciousstep.com and buy them if you aren't local. But at Fairtrade Long Beach, I just ordered a large selection, which a lot of those were out of stock too. But I ordered a large selection of Conscious Step socks that will continue to be available at Fairtrade Long Beach throughout the holidays. So if you're thinking, we're at the end of October, we're getting ready to go into the holiday season. Purchase something fair trade this holiday season. Don't purchase the latest whatever thing that's made by some slave labor, some forced labor in China. Purchase a product that'll make a difference in someone's life, that'll bring hope to marginalized communities, to help them become fully supporting of their own by their own contributions, and also to turn and leave a life of poverty. Some women prostitute themselves, or in our area, they were prostituting themselves, selling illegal alcohol, or picking food scraps from the dumpster. So purchasing products that help empower the women that make the products will enable them to be able to have a better life and just live a normal life like anybody else, and be able to pay their normal expenses like anybody else, send their kids to school, buy food, etc. Speaking of food, let me find my little banner here. We have decided that we are going to continue the food packs through the end of the year. Things in Kenya have opened up, and we had always said that once it's opened up and things were able to start to slowly get back to some type of sustainable level where they can sell things, and where we are getting more orders here, that we would back off from the food packs. So we wanted to give them a little buffer time. So we are still raising money. I need to raise $1,000 for November and $1,200 for December. So if you can see your way clear to donate any amount, please go to basketsandbeadskenya.org. It is a nonprofit. It is tax deductible, and it will help the ladies sustain themselves through the end of the year. And hopefully, I've placed an order, a pretty good size order, and I think I'm going to end up adding to it. And I'll be prayerfully placing more orders for things. I have some things in work that I hope to get the products into stores and we'll move that forward. And hopefully tourism will open up there. And one of our plans for the tourist areas that have gift shops and such was to get some of the products into gift shops. So we're praying for that to be something as well. All right, let's talk about the Swahili word of the day. Kushindwa. Kushindwa means failure. Failure. Mary Kay Ash said, fail forward to success. Why have I chosen failure as a word today? Well, if you were following it all from last week when I was part of a pitch competition, and initially I was selected as one of 8 finalists. When it actually got down to it, only 6 of us were pitching. And there were 3 prizes, and I did not get awarded a prize. I did not get awarded any of the money. And no, pretty much nobody knows, unless you read my little thing on my Facebook page, how stressful that was for me to prep for that. I've never done a pitch competition, and I think I explained last time I had never done a pitch competition before, because most of them require you to run around and chase people to vote for you to even get an opportunity, and the top 3 vote getters get the opportunity to pitch. I personally, because of everything I have to do with a corporate job and maintaining the business itself, I don't see that as a good use of my time. So I've never done one of those. This pitch competition was different in that you were interviewed and then selected from the interview. And there was a requirement to be on a call twice a week for 2 hours. Now, you may think, oh, okay, that's 2 hours out of a week. Well, yeah, okay, I work till 4:15, sometimes 4:30. I start at 6:30, and these calls were 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So that meant I had to go right from work into these calls. And then in my spare time, I had to work my job, get the pitch ready, and it had to be in a certain format, and you had to have certain things in it. And I'm a presenter. I can present on topics all day long, but this is a whole different thing. And it was a challenge for me. It was also a challenge because I had to go to Missouri last week for a work trip for my job. And the pitch was last week. So I had to do the pitch from my hotel room in Missouri. And I had to prep for the trip and still do work and prep for the pitch competition. And then I have a contract for a couple of trainings, and one of my trainings was being reviewed, and then I had a pop-up, and it was kind of brutal, and it was intense, and I was exhausted, and I was totally wiped out. And I really didn't, I don't know. I think I did a very good job on the presentation, but for whatever reason, I was not selected. So that's why I chose the word failure today. So obviously I failed. I mean, there were 6 amazing, it was a women veterans pitch contest, and there were 6 amazing women veteran businesses, and the judges just did not see mine as one to put in the top 3. Now, was I disappointed? Yes, very much so. I actually landed and I was listening when they were announcing it, waiting to get off the plane, and they announced the top 3 prizes, and I started to cry. I mean, I'm happy for the women who won. They have great businesses, but I was disappointed for myself. And I went back to analyze, and I don't have any feedback yet on what didn't work for me. So I have to do my after action report, what worked, what didn't, what could be improved for next time. I don't know what worked. One of the judges connected with me on LinkedIn, and I reached out to her and said, will you give me some feedback? I'm going to work to get some feedback on what did not work for the judges, what they did not see. And I don't know if they'll give me honest feedback. I hope they will, because I don't know why my business wasn't selected. I don't know if I just saw a little nose. I don't know if I didn't convey it good enough, or if I didn't provide the right information, or what I did not do to cause that failure to occur. But to say that I was sad and a little devastated, I was while being happy for one thing, you have growth. You can really be, when you can be happy for the people who actually succeeded and still be sad for yourself. And I came across something today that really kind of helped put things in perspective. There's this little book I read called Streams in the Desert. Now, this book was originally published in 1925. So it's almost 100 years old, and they've updated it, I guess, with language since that time. And it's a daily reader. It's a daily devotional reader. So there were a couple of things here that really stood out to me. The scripture, 1 Kings 8:56, not one word has failed of all good promises he gave. And it says, someday we will understand that God has a reason behind every no. So I got a no, and still don't understand why. He gives us through the course of our lives, every no he gives us through the course of our lives. Yet even in this life, he always makes it up to us. When God's people are worried and concerned that their prayers are not being answered, how often we have seen him working to answer them in a far greater way. Occasionally, we catch a glimpse of this, but the complete revelation of it will not be seen until later. If only we had the faith not to rush into things, to be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him, which is Psalm 37:7, waiting for his full explanation that will not be revealed until Jesus comes again. When has God ever taken anything from a person without restoring it many times over? Yet, what are we to think if he does not immediately restore what has been taken? Is today his only day to work? Does he have any concerns beyond this little world of ours? Can he still work beyond our death, or does the door of the grave open, or nothing but infinite darkness and eternal silence? Even if we continue our thinking to this life, if it is true that God never touches the heart with a trial without intending to bestow a greater gift or compassionate blessing, the person who knows how to wait has grown to an exceptional degree in God's grace. So I failed, right? I failed. I don't know why I failed. And I don't have the answer. God has the answer to that, because I prayed about it, but I also prayed for God's favor to be for whoever it needed to be for. And it wasn't for me for that day. And yes, I was sad. Yes, I was disappointed, and that's okay. Mary Kay Ash of Mary Kay Cosmetics said, fail forward to success. So while I grieved for a minute, and I contacted one of my closest friends, and I talked to him about it over text pretty much. And then we talked later just to get some kind of some inspiration to move forward and to not feel so bad, because I felt bad because of the amount of work I put in. You all do not know how much work I put into that, and working that around my job and my other responsibilities, and the fact that I was just exhausted. And I think all of that kind of tied into what happened in the airport. So the plane landed, I heard that I didn't place. And then I had very little time to get to my second plane. So I was in Missouri. I flew from Missouri to Houston, and then Houston back to Orange County. And I had very little time. It's like, wow, they booked it really tight. And I had to go all the way to another concourse, like way down to the end. And I was worried I wasn't going to make it. And I'm trucking along. I had to stop and get something to eat, and put some to-go food so I could have something. And of course, when you're going in an airport, if you don't plan that, and I really didn't plan that, you don't have the opportunity to eat as healthy as you'd like. I got a little cheese box with some fruit, and then some kind of little Rice crisp things that ended up having sugar in it, which I didn't take the time to read the package, which I'll explain what happened with that after a while. And I'm trucking through the airport. Well, my roller bag, I had a roller bag that has 4 wheels on it. And I'm going along, and I'm adjusting my purse, and I'm sort of pushing the bag. Well, one of the wheels has buckled, and it turned in front of me, and bam, down I went in the airport. Oh, wonderful. I mean, I fell flat out. And it's going to be a habit with me. I don't know. Last year I fell and broke my wrist. So thankfully nothing was hurt, other than I felt kind of embarrassed that I did a complete fall in the middle of the airport. Well, so then I was shaken up, and I get to the plane, and they're starting to board, and so I got on there, and it was a full flight, and I was pretty close to the back, and I was in the window seat, and I got in there, and I started kind of eating my food because I was feeling a little lightheaded. Well, that did not agree with me, because part of the way through the flight, I started feeling really sick. I actually thought I was going to get sick and throw up. Thankfully, I did not. But I got up and went to the bathroom, refreshed myself a little bit, but I just didn't feel right. But I think the combination of the emotion and the fall and eating food that those little rice, they were little rice crisp things, and they had sugar. They had sugar in them, and it was processed. And I don't eat a lot of processed stuff. I try to eat no processed stuff. And so every now and then I'll have chips, all things in moderation, because I like the crunch of potato chips. But yeah, so I had a really rough time of it. And the thing to remember about failures, it's okay to fail. How are you going to get better if you don't fail? And like I said, I still don't know what I did or did not do, what I did wrong, what I did right. I'm hoping to find that out in the coming weeks, that the judges will give me some feedback. Because the thing that really concerned me is when I was done, the judges had 4 minutes to ask questions. And there were 4 judges. One asked a question, but the rest of them just stayed silent. So pretty much my 4 minutes was taken up with silence. And that to me was like, oh, this is bad, because when all the other people presented, all the judges asked them lots of questions. They were all excited about their businesses, and they showed it. So I kind of felt in my spirit then that, okay, something's not working here. This did not go over well, and it was not received, just based on there was no feedback, or very little feedback, no questions. I just looked, and they were just sitting there, and the host said, "Do you any judges have any questions?" Just the blank look on their face. And that made my heart sink. Like, I work so hard for the women in Kenya. I don't do this for me. I don't do it. I do it because God called me to do this for these ladies in Kenya, and I love them so much, and I want the success for them. I want them to have the opportunity to live a good life, to not have to live in that slum, and to not have to struggle so much. And my heart is with them. And, when I'm getting emotional now, when I get rejected, it's rejecting them. It's rejecting them, and and I don't understand. I don't understand why I work so hard, and why it seems like such an uphill struggle just to get noticed, just to get someone to believe in what I'm doing. And, somebody at a business conference that I went to was inspired by what I'm doing. And he said, "Who's the face of the business?" And I said, "Me." He said, "You can't be, because you're white." And, that hurt my heart. It's like, okay, like, I can't help the color of my skin. I can't help it. I can't help it. God called me to this mission. I love these women, and I want to help them. I mean, if that means I have to step aside and let somebody else be the face of the business, I'll do that. But I'm just sharing my heart, because it just hurts me to fail on behalf of them, because I'm representing them. I'm representing them, their lives, to make their lives better, and to make them have an opportunity to be fully supporting by their own contributions. That's the whole goal here. It's the whole reason I took a job when COVID stopped all of our sales. I've said it numerous times on here that I'm working a job, and my house is falling apart. Like, if I showed you things in my house, I need to replace blinds. I need to do light fixtures. My refrigerator keeps starting to make noise. It's like my dishwasher doesn't work. I'm washing everything by hand. I don't put, my car has 200 and something thousand miles on it. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. I just had to replace the washer and dryer. I had no choice, because it was stuff wasn't working and wasn't worth fixing. But all of my spare income that doesn't go to support myself, which is, food and shelter, goes to the business and to the expenses and to make it work for them. So a failure like this really hurts my heart. So I know God has a different purpose and a different plan, and I just have to trust him. But as a human, it's very hard to do that. It's hard, it's challenging, it's complicated. So like I said, Mary Kay Ash says, fail forward to success. When you do have a failure, it's okay to grieve. Grieve that failure, but don't grieve it by yourself. Talk to somebody about it. Somebody who has your back. One of the Go Pink rules of engagement I talked about previously was surround yourself with people who hold you to a higher standard, not people who bring you down. So you have to have those friends that you can go to and say, oh my gosh, I failed. I don't understand why. And sometimes they just need to let you vent instead of giving solutions or reasons. You just need to vent or cry or yell or whatever you need to do just to get it out and go through the process, and then get back to an area where you can constructively look at it, which that's what I'm doing now. This week, I'm going to see if I can get some feedback onto what didn't work and improve for next time. But, there's that saying, when God closes a door, he opens a window. And I'm a finalist for the Rosie Network Women's Business Awards for the veteran category. And I'm a finalist in another award category. So people are recognizing the work that we're doing and the fact that I'm representing the ladies in Kenya. So just failure is okay, but wallowing in the failure for too long, you can't do that. You have to press on. You have to figure out what caused the failure and do a course correction if necessary. Or sometimes it may not be that there really was a failure. It's just that there was a lot of people with value and they preferred somebody else. That happens too. So just know that your turn is coming, and have faith in that. So that's all I wanted to share today. Again, if you are, as I said at the beginning, we are still raising money for food packs. I need to raise $1,000 for November, and I've out of 1,200, I've raised 200 so far. And I do have some regular donors. If you'd like to become a regular donor, after the food pack program's done, any donations will go to things like school fees or our building fund, because we do still have that dream to buy some land and build housing and a manufacturing facility and a farm and things like that, so they can have multiple streams of income and be fully supporting by their own contributions, which is our goal. And again, if Christmas is coming, if you have a doggy, please get one of the dog bandanas and take a photo of your doggy and put it on, doggy. These are doggy bandanas. Put it on, you send it to me and I'll put it on Instagram. I'll feature your dog. This one's reversible. So it's got two sides to it. We have some that are one-sided, and you can find those at Fairtrade Long Beach and on basketsmeetsbeadskenya.com, which is where the dog bandanas are located. And there's sizes there, which are neck sizes, and they're machine washable. You can fold them down like this if you want, or just do them like this. And then they just simply tie. Now, if you wanted to, because all dogs are different sizes, it wouldn't behoove me to do this on the dog bandanas, but you could put a couple of Velcro things to just Velcro it, but it would have to be for the size of your dog. But those are things that can just be stuck on and or easily sewn in to this fabric, so you could just Velcro it. But because so many dogs this is a large, so it fits a certain neck size. So it may fit one dog just barely, or it may overlap and fit one dog like that. So I can't conceivably put that on there. It just wouldn't really work right. But I am considering providing a couple pieces of Velcro that people can add themselves to custom fit to their dog. So, and then it also depends if you want to fold it over, because you can fold it this way, or if you wanted to fold it this way and then do it like that. Again, it depends on the size of your dog. So I think we may be adding those pieces in for you if you want to add Velcro to it. Okay, everybody, that is it for today. And I hope you all have a great week. Let me see what is going on this week. I don't have any pop-ups this week, but next week I'm going to be in 2 different places. The city of Irvine is having their annual fall festival, and then I will be at the Lab Anti-Mall on the 7th. So the 6th and 7th of November are going to be very busy and doing a lot of great things. So get your Christmas shopping in. If you have not gone to the website and gotten on the mailing list, you get 10% off. There's a little pop-up there. You get 10% off right away. A lot of people have been taking advantage of that 10% off. I actually just sold one of the table runner sets and mailed it out today. Somebody took advantage of that. So got a lot of stuff going on in the background to push Baskets and Beads forward into more places in the market, and looking forward to sharing the new products when they come. Pillows and table runner sets and a few new bandanas and earrings. All right, everybody, have a great day. Until next time, Nakupenda.